sharing some stories here at Super Dirt Week as we're going to be heading into the infield here in just a little while. And of course, let me see, was it 16? 17 was the first year we came here, and boy, this place has come a long way. Camping area is amazing. Racetrack's in fantastic shape today. But of course, the very first time that I worked at the New York State Fairgrounds in Syracuse was when I met Glenn Donnelly. I had been bugging them all year long. You know, I wanted to work all those big races. I wanted to work for dirt. I wanted to work this week on dirt. You know, I was hungry. I was, 23 years old at the time. So I got a chance to work the New York State Fair Demolition Derby Championship. I think Paul Small was on stage. There's Jeff Hockman, by the way. He's the one who makes all this happen around here. He was on the stage, and I was up in the tower. And we got to go through and kind of look at some of the cars. And it was Labor Day back then. It was the very last day of the New York State Fairgrounds. So we were actually, because I'd known Paul for years before, we had worked at other tracks together. And it was our job to find the contestants for the best looking car at the Demolition Derby. So that was our job beforehand. I remember I went up, I got to shake Glenn Donnelly's hand. He had a radio, so he was, it was one of those, hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you. Because he had other things to worry about than this new guy who was up in the tower. And I remember this like it was yesterday. I was in there, because as you looked at the tower, from say the front stretch, from the from the concrete pad there, the announcer's booth was at the far left side. So I remember walking in there, getting a look around, and going, "Oh wow, this is so cool." I was as nervous as I could be, and back then I didn't get nervous about much. I'd already had 4 seasons. Let me see, 2000. This is my fifth season now. That I think about it, so I was feeling pretty confident about everything, and I remember I was in that room just freaking out, trying to figure out what I'm going to do. I'd only done a couple of demo derbies as add-ons at shows. I'd never done one that was an actual, this is the event, that the demo derby is the event. And I remember Glenn Donnelly came in and looked at me and said, might want to get it started. And as I noticed with Glenn, and anybody who worked for him will tell you the same thing. He never told you what to do. He never said, throw the red. He never said, black flag that car. He said, he would go, you might want to think about, or something like that. So he says, you might want to get it started. And, the standard spiel. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the New York State Fairgrounds and the New York State Demo Derby Championship. And it just started to flow. Next thing I know, I see Paul down on the stage waving. And I was like, oh, let's check in with Paul Small. He's down on the stage. And then once we got going, because he did a lot of the riling up the crowd stuff. And anybody that knows me knows that I was always more of a serious guy in the tower. I mean, it's serious stuff that we're dealing with up there, so I never wanted to joke around too much. But Paul was joking around a lot. We did the Demo Derby Championship. Next year, an opportunity came up, and I remember I didn't even talk to Glenn. Somebody called me. Might have been Bill McNabb, but I'm not sure. It might have also been Scott McGardis from Dirt TV. And next thing you know, we were doing all those races. And we were at all those places that I wanted to be. I started working for This Week on Dirt, and the rest, as they say, is history. We got one more. We're going to share some memories from Super Dirt Week as we're ready to head to the infield for tonight's activities. Again, thanks to Carl Electric. They gave us a very cool side-by-side to ride around with here at Super Dirt Week. Got to again thank our folks from Garoppolo supporting, and everybody from Dirt Car, all the teams, all the fans. It's so nice. I've had a lot of people come up to me and tell me how much they enjoy the channel. That means the world to me. So please leave me a comment. Please subscribe. Turn on your notifications as Super Dirt Week 2024 is almost complete.